come along to the Department of Home Affairs, where the news has been announced in the last hour that Mr. Roberts, you are to be the new Chief Constable. And also I've got here Jim Watterson, who's going to be your head as far as government goes. I mean, this has probably been, I wish I could have bet on this, because everyone was telling me you were going to get this job.
Yeah, I never told you that I would get it, and it's been a robust process, and that's entirely right. And I went into it with a number of other high calibre candidates, and I'm delighted that I've emerged from it successfully.
Mr. Watson, you're in charge of, I suppose, the committee?
Panel. Yeah, the panel. Chaired the panel.
What's the process?
Well, we had 9 candidates who applied for the job, all of whom were Chief Superintendent or higher in UK forces. Of that, we selected 2 for interview based on a paper sift of the values, the qualities, the skills that they brought to the job. We've been through that interview process, and on a very credible and very competent and capable candidates, we did choose Gary for his vision for the force in terms of his enthusiasm and passion, and his strategic overview of where we think the police force needs to go in the next 5 years.
And this is the first Chief Constable that's come through the ranks from the Isle of Man. Now, that's obviously got its pluses, Mr. Roberts, but the fact of the matter is you haven't worked anywhere else.
No, but I have all of the necessary skills to do the job. I have a range of experience that makes me uniquely qualified. I can't imagine any other candidate would have had experience in financial crime in an offshore environment, for example, and that's crucial to the island and to the island's future. I have the same qualifications as candidates from other places in terms of being a gold commander, which is a police terminology for a strategic commander at operational level. So I've done all of the things that I need to do, but I bring to it a unique understanding of the Isle of Man, of its people, of what the people of the Isle of Man want, of how the government works here, and of how the constabulary works. I'm conscious that some people might say, well, actually, you need an outsider to bring a different eye to things. I can see that argument, but what I will say is my record is a proven one, that I've continually innovated, and I've played a significant role in modernising the constabulary in recent years. And to prove the good intent and to prove what I say I'll deliver, I will be encouraging the Minister to apply even greater scrutiny to the work of the police than has been the case before.
I think it says a lot about how far the Isle of Man Constabulary has come in the last decade, that it's been able to put such a value on its people, that it's been able to take people right from the shop floor, if you like, to become Chief Constable and go through a rigorous process which will pit Gary against some of the best that the UK has to offer and still emerge as the best candidate for the job. I think that says how far policing has come on the island in the last 10 years by focusing on its people.
You take over from Mike Landon. How did you rate him?
Mike Langdon is an inspirational leader. There's no doubt at all about that, and he has done a terrific amount of work in restoring the reputation of the constabulary and setting it on the track that it's on. I'm privileged to have worked with him and for him, and he mentored me through some interesting times, and I have a huge debt of gratitude to him. I think the people of the Isle of Man should realise that they have as well, because the constabulary he leaves is not the one he inherited.
Okay, interesting times. We're talking about the previous incumbent in that job, which it wasn't a fair sailing for him, was it?
Mr. Culverhouse had a very difficult time and dealt with some enormous issues that would have tested anyone, and he did a lot of groundwork to make the place better.
But morale was terribly low then. It's now pretty good, isn't it? You invested in people and what sort?
Yeah, we've won Investors in People Gold status. We're in the finals of the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development People Management Awards. People genuinely are happy, but it's a movable feast, and we're in a situation where police officers feel vulnerable because of changes to their paying conditions, changes to their pensions. They know that they're no different than anybody else. They know that we're in a time of austerity, and they have to have their cloth cut accordingly. But things like that do dampen and damage morale, and my job is a leadership one to make sure that people still see they're here to serve the people of the Isle of Man and to do the very best. And I'm privileged because actually the people in the Isle of Man Constabulary are first class.
The man sitting next to you is going to cut your budgets. You are going to cut more budgets, aren't you?
Yeah, I think that's the times we're living in. Government's going to make £55 million worth of savings over the next 4 years. It's not going to be an easy challenge, but I know that's something that all of the service heads in the Department of Home Affairs, all of the ministers, and Gary and I will work together to try and minimise the impact for the public.
Do you know where he's going with that? Have you had discussions?
I've managed the constabulary's budget for 5 years, and I've absorbed cuts that are about 16% now, and the quality of service to the public has not diminished. In fact, it's increased. policing in austerity brings you opportunities to do things differently, creatively and perhaps better. But make no mistake about it, further significant cuts will cause us to have to look at the current structure and processes, and I might have to make hard decisions, but the political members who hold the budget, who provide the budget, understand fully the rationale for any decisions I have to make.
The word is you've been running the force for the last year.
I've had a very distinct role, which is the day-to-day running of the constabulary, and the Chief Constable has done what Chief Constables do, which is set the strategy, set the vision and do the political stuff outside. So I have to transfer to do that, and that will be an interesting challenge for me.
Where are we going to be in 5 years' time?
What I intend us to be is a constabulary that's still at neighbourhood level, that provides very high quality service at national level as well, that meets all the challenges of workforce modernisation, by which I mean new pay and conditions, by which I mean perhaps a new mix of type of workforce where we're not all police officers who do police type things, but also a constabulary that is better, even better than I've inherited. A constabulary that fully understands it's here to serve the people of the Isle of Man.
Well, finally, he's picked you. You've now got to work with him.
I have worked closely with 6 ministers, and I will continue to do the very best for whoever the minister is.
I fancy Gary's chances of lasting longer than me, but I'm looking forward to working with him. It's a good constructive relationship that has to exist between a Chief Constable and any Minister for Home Affairs, and I think we're off to a flying start.